All right, how everybody doing today? Great. That's the energy. I know we just got off work, so I get it. But welcome y'all to Health is Wealth. I'm so grateful that y'all were able to come out and join in on this conversation with us. I'm very passionate on health. I'm very passionate on fitness. I am a fitness fiend. I am a nutrition nut, so I'm going to be learning just as much as you guys are. The main purpose I want you guys to do is not only listen to what these individuals are going to be saying, these are professionals in their field, but also make sure you guys are writing down the questions, right? Save your questions for the end, because this is definitely going to be an interactive experience. I don't want you guys to just kind of feel like you're absorbing information and it's not tangible, right? So make it individual to you guys. I'm gonna get our formalities out of the way. I know you guys are enjoying the delicious food. Shout out to my man's Antonio in the back with Party Bites Catering. Yup, give him some love. This brother always holds it down when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to the quality of the food, and when it comes to cleanliness, right? Those are things that can make or break your event. So if you're having an event and you need catering, that is the guy to go to, all right? Party Bites Catering. Right there in front of you guys, there are a couple different things of information. There is a walk run that's happening in October. Forgive me if I get some of the information wrong. I haven't looked over it fully. But if you guys are into running, if you're into walking, it's a 5K in October. I think it's on Halloween, I believe. And so you guys can sign up for that and join us. I will be there. Hopefully, a lot of the young professionals will be there. Hope to see you guys. And also there is the form where you guys can take notes, and also there's a QR code there. So if there's anybody in here that's NYP, raise your hand. So if you are not NYP, look around. Those are the people that you want to talk to, or myself, if you want to learn more about what it is that we do, so you can join the movement and join the mission. You can scan that QR code. That's going to take you to our join link, where you guys can actually sign up, join, and help us out and make a difference out here. Huge thank you to Urban League Greater Chattanooga for letting us use this space. And thank you to my YP family, my 423 YP family, for coming out and supporting me on this. This means a lot to me. And so that being said, introductory time. My name is Christopher Shaw. I am I serve on the Urban League of Greater Chattanooga Young Professionals as the Personal and Professional Development Chair. That's a mouthful. Basically, my whole thing is I love the professional side of it, right? That's cool. You can have all the LinkedIn audits and the resume building, that's fine. But what happens if you don't know how to sleep correctly, if you're not eating well? Then you get on the job and your personal is all messed up, so then you can't keep it. You can't think right. And I'm big on, if you change the way you eat, you change the way you think. So my main thing is all about the personal aspects. So that's why we're here today. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and do our introductories. And tell us about who you guys are and what you guys do.
Well, my name is Onteaya. I am a holistic nutritionist and the founder of the Plant Candy Collective. It is a wellness and lifestyle collective that teaches people how to heal their bodies and improve their environments from the inside out. We specialize in nutrition, herbal protocols, and biophilic design. Cheers and be well.
Hi everybody, I'm Shey. I'm the owner and operator of Shey Natural Health Bar. We basically help moms and athletes elevate their wellness routine through nutrition.
Hey, I'm Darryl Eubanks. I own True Food Meal Prep. So I have a meal prep company. We do meal prep that comes in like coaches bundles, where we create a full meal plan for you, but also we have a selection where you can choose your own meals. And then I also own a fitness company. I'm a strength coach as well. It's called Still Life Athletics. So that is also what I do.
All right, give it up for them. Beautiful, beautiful. And thank y'all for being here, because this doesn't exist without y'all. I can get up here and talk, but nobody will listen to me for 2 hours. So thank y'all so much. First and foremost, Shey, these juices.
Thank you.
If y'all ain't tasted it,
Thank you.
Bro.
If you scan the QR code, you can leave me a review on Google.
Oh. Yeah, you better plug. Yeah, do all of that. Do all of that. All right, so we're gonna go into a icebreaker, and this is for all three of y'all. What does the term "health is wealth" mean to you guys?
Ladies.
You can start wherever. Whoever got the mic.
Oh, okay. Longevity.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Yeah.
Being able to choose and take control of your health. I reversed my type 2 diabetes, but when I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2020, that's what made me further my education as a holistic nutritionist. And what I learned is that we're not often partners in our health journey with our physicians. We usually tend to let people tell us how to take care of our own bodies. And so I feel like health is wealth, is being able to choose and not be dependent on somebody outside of you, not being dependent on a medication or something outside of you to heal you. So now I have control over my wellness journey, and my doctor trusts me. I made a post on Facebook the other day that said I went to the doctor, my doctor was proud of me. She was proud of me because not everybody comes in the doctor office, and I was listening to some Master P on the way there. I was
Come on.
because I was excited about my journey, you know what I'm saying? And she ain't never seen nobody like me before. So now she sees a partner and she trusts me. So when I say, no, doc, I don't want medication, I want to do it naturally, she allows me to do that.
Right.
That's health and health as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I second. I piggyback on both of you guys said. And longevity as well. Because when I think about wealth, I think about longevity. I think about generational, right? Like if you're rich, that's right now. If it's wealth, that's down the line. So I'm thinking about how can I, prolong my life? How can I prolong the life of people that are around me? And so I had my first experience with this last year, like very practical when it comes to like health and wealth. When we think about money, as a business professional, I ruptured my Achilles last year, and I was out of work for like, I would say 6 months out of the year in a sense. So really did affect me, and it made me realize like, what am I doing? Because I'm a bodybuilder, but what am I doing for functional? What am I doing to take care of my everyday movement? And so health and wealth is just longevity. And
There's some other chairs in that side. Thank y'all. Give a round of applause for that. She said she's going to some Master P on the way to the doctor's office. I love it. All right, so we're going to have a little bit more of a overview of health in general. And we're going to start, Darryl, we're going to start with you. And then if anybody has rebuttals, feel free to chime in. So if you kind of study even a little bit of nutrition when it comes to being in a gym, you've heard the term macronutrients, right? So can you kind of give an overview of what macronutrients are and why do proteins, carbohydrates, and healthy fats matter so much?
Yeah. I think, this is a good one. I think I can nerd out, but I'm not going to go too big. So just in the grand scheme of things, in layman terms, not to act like you guys wouldn't understand, but just to keep it very simple and how I explain it to anybody is when I think about protein, it's a building block of your life, right? So protein for everybody wants their hair to be longer, nails to be stronger, body to feel better, muscles to repair. That is the essence of protein. And so we have to make sure we get our protein macronutrient. You hear a lot of times people say you want to get 0.7 to 1 gram per body weight. But you also got to be mindful, like it's actually your lean muscle mass. So there really is a science behind how much you need in the daily. Carbohydrates, a lot of people can be scared of carbs because, early 2000s, it was like stay away. We got keto now, things like that. We have like the Whole30, things like that. But carbs are your main source of energy. And that's not only your main source of energy for like going out and doing life, but your main source of energy for sitting at a desk and thinking. So that is your brain power. So carbs really do help give you energy to get throughout your day, mental clarity, things of that sort. And then we have fats that are super important, especially for my women folk, because it is a big hormone driver. And so if you're going low on fat, then you can really that can lead to other health issues. So you might have irregular periods, PCOS, things like that for women. So you got to make sure the fats are good. So just like a really quick, I gave like numbers for protein, but for like carbs, anything under 150 would be considered low carbs, under 150 grams. Between 150 to 250 would be moderate, and anything over 250 is high carb. So most of us need to be sitting in that moderate space, right? And then when it comes to fat, as a man, we really don't ever want to get below. We could probably teeter at around like 50 would be really low. For a woman, you probably don't want to get underneath like 60, 65, but both of those are pretty dangerous. So staying somewhere close to like that 70 to 85 grams of fat is a pretty good safe spot to be.
Anybody want to chime in?
Oh, he said everything. He was like, yeah.
Macronutrients. So, a little bit about my journey. Basically, I would just say I'm in the body recomposition stage right now, so I'm really focused on macronutrients. The biggest thing is to know how to build your plate. You want to make sure you got your protein, your fat, and you also want to make sure that you have fiber.
Yes.
And you have to understand that you need all those things. Like he was saying, carbohydrates. You need carbohydrates because glucose feeds your brain.
Yes.
So when you understand what your body needs to function, then that's how you build every plate. So when you're out there getting a bowl from Antonio, you want to get your fiber. Make sure you get enough greens in there. Get some broccolini. Get you some healthy fat. That salmon would be good for fat. You know what I'm saying? So protein, fiber, fat. And then you stay satiated too when you have enough fat in your diet. You know, protein helps you stay satiated too. Because when you do a lot of sugar, it just kind of, I call it, it almost kind of breaks your seal. Then you want to just eat. So if you keep those three things in your diet, then you're not going to be binge eating.
Facts.
Yeah, you're not. And especially as an athlete, when you do so much, your body is going to require so much. And I like to call it like I don't even know. It's like after you work out, you're just hungry. You just keep eating and you don't know what it is. It's because your body is needing all of that to be able to repair, to be able to come back stronger. And depending on what period of if you're an athlete, or someone who's trying to recomp, depending on what you're trying to accomplish is how you should be eating.
Yes.
If you're in a recovery mode, then you shouldn't be trying to eat like you're in a competition.
Right.
So
That's good.
my 2
That's
cents.
That was good. So, staying on the topic of carbs, right? Because you're right, they can be very dangerous. What are some good sources of good carbohydrates, right? Because donuts are delicious, but they're not good for you.
Yeah.
So what are some good sources for some good carbohydrates to keep your body going?
I like sourdough bread.
There we go.
Y'all go.
I think you may know even more about this than I would know, but when I think about good carbs, I think about the glycemic index, right? So higher glycemic index foods are going to burn quicker. So you think about stuff like Starburst or Nerds or even white bread compared to a wheat bread, because wheat bread has more fiber, so it digests a little slower, and you can use it more regularly. Or oatmeal is a good carb, sweet potatoes, good carb. So I try to stay away from good versus bad, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, when you think about what's the purpose of what you're eating the carb for? So if I'm going to work out, I got a heavy leg day, I might go get some Starburst, or I might go get a Rice Krispie treat, right? Because it's that little buzz that I need. You see Marshawn Lynch on the sideline eating Skittles. Right? That's a carb. That's a higher glycemic index food, right? But if you're really trying to prepare for that test you got to take, and you're in college, or you got a busy day, you got a work meeting, it's 8 o'clock, the meeting's at 10, you might be really good at doing oatmeal, a banana, and then maybe some honey to give you that burst too, right? So to give you that slow burning carb. So
Cool. Yeah. Before you give your opinion, don't let that be an excuse for y'all to go to the gas station.
Right.
And get a whole bunch of Starburst. Oh, I got a leg day. I heard it helped this well.
They
Get
told
Starburst. Don't do that. We did not say that. We did not say that. You want to add anything?
No, I didn't.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. So you talked about here's one. Okay, so one thing, and I want all of you guys to kind of jump on this. It doesn't have to be carbs. It can just be in general. One of the main things that I hear a lot when it comes to eating healthier is, well, eating healthy is so expensive, right? And I always say, well, you either gonna pay up front the investment, or you're gonna pay later on with them doctor bills.
Right.
But I also have found that when you're eating healthier, like you guys said, you stay satiated so much longer, so you're not eating as often. So what are some foods that can satiate you longer, whether that be a vegetable, a protein, a carb, and where would you guys say are the best places to get those things?
That's good.
It's not really about it being expensive. It's about eating food that just has, it doesn't hit you anywhere. It's just a bunch of sugar. So it's really about just choosing wisely. I would say the best foods is like avocado, that's a nice fat. You know what I'm saying? You can get avocado for dirt cheap, and you can add it to every meal. You see what I'm saying? So it's not, I don't really necessarily agree with eating well is expensive, because if you know what your body needs, you can go anywhere and find that. I remember we ride with a bike group that meets over there on Wednesdays, and this guy was like, he shops at United Grocery, and I almost passed out. You know, I was like, oh my God, but really at United Grocery, you can find, you know, the foods that you need to eat and have a proper diet. So that's just my little 2 cents on that.
For me, I think it's more about being intentional with your food, like knowing how you want to feel after you eat your food, what kind of food you want to eat, where you get the food from. For my business, I like to go to a lot of like farmers markets around the area. Thankfully, we live somewhere that has them all over the place. So I just find some and I'll put a little bit on the business tab for the house.
Come on.
Like, yeah, so it's like I need to make sure that everybody got good fruits and veggies. So it's really about how intentional you are about your food and where you get it from, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. And I heard what Chris said the other day about like you're either paying now or you're paying later.
Yeah.
Right? So that's so true. I mean, if you aren't getting the right foods, if you're not eating well, it's going to bleed over into the doctor's bills, 100%. So I shop at Walmart because it is cheaper, you know what I mean? But it's definitely not the best value, right? So I tell myself all the time, like, man, when I'm rich, I'm gonna be growing my own food, all this stuff. But I think the best way to do it would be like having your own garden. If I was really being honest about it, like having your own garden, growing your own fruits, you know, getting stuff from farmers markets and stuff like that, which Chattanooga is a great place for that because you don't have to worry about all the pesticides and things like that. But I also don't believe that, I think at this point, when people say like eating healthy is expensive, I also don't agree with it because, you know what I mean, back in the day, you go to McDonald's and get a value menu, was like everything was 99 cents. Now a value menu is like, it's like $1.49, so it's inflation, right? So I don't know. I think it's pretty expensive to eat poorly as well. You know, it just really depends on like what are you trying to get. But you can go I can make a pound of chicken last all week if I really want to, especially if I'm not actually tracking. If I'm just trying to eat well, not optimally, but like well, make sure I'm getting good foods. You can make. I mean, you can spend $20 at the grocery store and make it last all week if you know how to make it. Spend it, you know. So,
very true. Very true.
I will add something else too. Just don't eat processed food. And processed food is actually expensive. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the store and you see fruits and vegetables and fats and things of that sort, they're really not that expensive. It's just knowing how to build your plate. But processed foods is not even necessarily about what you see on the nutrition facts. It's about the chemicals that they use to process the food that hurts you. And most people don't understand the label. So we just really have to educate ourselves on how to build a plate, and you can go anywhere and build your plate. Like I did a post on my Instagram about how to hack your hotel breakfast, and you know it's full of carbs, it's full of sugar, but there's a way to basically eat responsibly wherever you go.
Can I add to that real quick? And because the processed food, like I said, I feel like it's a phrase thing, a key phrase that people say, but like I didn't even understand what that meant until like a couple years ago. I was like, if you're eating processed food, that means it's already been processed. So it's taking place of what your body's supposed to do, which is why when they tell us to stay away from it, because if your body can't break down that food, then it's building up in your body. So now you get subcutaneous fats and things like that. So that's why people say stay away from processed food. It's not like, it is the chemicals, right? But it's also like your body is built to process the food. So if they're doing it for you already, then you're taking away something that your body's supposed to do to make it healthy and to actually make your body work the way it's supposed to work. You know? So
y'all dropped gems on that one. I hope y'all got that. I hope y'all are taking notes on that one. So let's talk about the labels, right? So many times we're seeing everywhere, everything's marketed as organic now, right? But if you turn over the label, them chemicals are still there. One of my favorites that I always see is natural flavors. If it was naturally flavored, then you gotta tell, nobody gotta tell me the flavor of a strawberry if it's a strawberry. You know what I'm saying? So can we talk about like some of those more misleading things that you can see on labels if you guys have a few?
Boy.
Oh man, I wish I could think of the documentary that I watched that teaches you how to read a label, but sometimes there's just a very minimum amount of something they have to have in it to be able to say that it's fat-free or,
or sugar-free.
Or sugar-free, you still have sugar in it, you know what I'm saying? I like electrolytes, and so I always get this electrolyte drink when I'm on my way to the gym. And the other day, actually yesterday, I turned it around and, it's sugar-free, because you don't really want to get anything that's sugar in it. If it's an electrolyte, you don't really need any sugar, it should be sugar-free. The wonderful thing about this brand is that it was no sugar, it was no carbohydrates, because carbohydrates is sneaky sugar as well. So if it's sugar-free, but it still got carbohydrates, then you still got glucose. You see what I'm saying? But I was reading through the ingredients and it had red 40 in it. And I was like, well, why? Why do it have red 40 in it? You know what I'm saying? So just looking at the ingredients, and usually the first ingredient that's on there, like if you flip it over and you see it says sugar, that's the majority of what's in there. You know what I'm saying? So that, just reading what the ingredients is. And most healthy things shouldn't have more than 5 ingredients.
Yeah, at all. Well, I destroyed Doritos. I was like, see, this is what is in there. And he was like, no. Like the whole house is like gone, so we don't have Doritos, we don't have cereal in the morning. The kids hate it. I'm like, oh boy, I'm sorry.
It took all the fun away.
Yeah, they will. But I have to find something else. I got to substitute it for something else. So we have like fruit cereal. So I'll make like a cereal bowl with like a whole bunch of different fruits, and I'll just have it chopped. I'll just have it chopped up in the mornings, and if you want some cereal, I got a cereal bowl. So sometimes they're happy about it, but sometimes they're like, whatever, mom.
I think too, like the biggest thing that I got caught up with when I started bodybuilding the first time, and I was like trying to eat peanut butter, and I realized like I was making peanut butter jelly sandwiches, but I was eating like a spoonful, but the serving size of peanut butter is like 2 tablespoons. So like just realizing like serving sizes on the back of a nutrition label. So like even if you look at like a bag of Cheetos or something like those small bags, they could be like 2 servings. So you look at it real quick, you're like, oh, it's 100 calories. But it's 5 servings, so really, if you eat the whole bag, that's 500 calories. So I think sometimes just looking at little things like that is huge, like peeping that. And then I think that was huge too about the, whatever is the first thing listed in the ingredients list is usually what it is what's the most prominent ingredient in that, whatever that thing is. So nutrition labels can be tricky. There's also one other thing I just learned recently was it has a percentage of like, so like say it's protein, it's real confusing, so I'm not gonna try to explain it. Basically, they'll tell you the number of how much protein is in the whatever you're eating, but there's a percentage on there too, and there's something between those numbers that basically like the number that is listed, so say it has 20 grams of protein, but it says like 2% over here, then you really aren't getting 20 grams of protein from that thing. So there's a lot of stuff to it, labels that you really gotta dissect and look at, which is another reason why I just stay away from processed food. Because chicken is chicken, you know what I'm saying? So like, steak, so you do that stuff, you'll be all right.
Especially if it's a fresh one.
If you can go catch your own chicken, that's the best.
This is completely off topic, but has anybody here seen Hoppers?
Yes.
It's like a kid's movie. Did you see the part where the beaver is like on the Jerry's face? He's like, oh, it smells like vanilla.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's like beaver secretion. It's for natural flavoring of vanilla.
Natural flavor, that's true.
They dropped a dime right
They did.
I was like, everything in this movie is true.
I didn't even catch that. That's hilarious.
It was. I was watching it with the kids. No, you said it at the end.
Yeah, we'll say it with the end. Yeah. Thank you for holding me accountable. I really was.
wasn't here for that part.
You threw me off. I had a flow going. Okay, so I was having a conversation with my grandmother the other day and about like reading labels and stuff like that, because she'll go into the store and just because the front of the label says it's the thing, like we're talking about like spray butter, right? And I was like, yeah, this is butter flavoring. So it's not actually butter in here. Well, what is it? It ain't butter flavoring. It's something that tastes like butter.
Right.
So what is it? She's like, well, what is it? I'm asking you. You know what I'm saying? So And she was like, well, don't nobody have time to read the label. I'm like, that's where they want you to be.
Yeah.
Make the time to read the label. Because you probably wouldn't buy as much, honestly, if you took the time to read the label.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely take the time to do that. I want to kind of pivot to vegetables here, because we're in this thing right now where they don't want us to eat lettuce and all this other stuff, right? So, right, and one of the things that I saw when I was kind of passing by the news is that it was talking about make sure you're properly washing your produce. How do you properly wash produce? I knew you was gonna pick up the mic on that.
She could drop a dime.
You gotta grab them. You have to I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that.
What I do is I actually sprinkle it with baking soda and put vinegar over it, and it basically just fizzes up, and then you see all of that come to the top.
Yeah.
And I do everything that way. So when I get it from the store in the plastic, I actually rinse it out and then put it in another container, preferably. Sometimes I put it back in that container if I rinse it out, but I find that that's the best way. And all of those are natural ingredients, and they got health benefits. So baking soda and vinegar is very good for you.
Like in water or what? You just like put it, like you soak it?
Well, I sprinkle it like blueberries, or I don't buy raspberries, but I do buy blackberries. Blackberries are very good for you. They're like medicine. You take one, it's like taking a pill. But basically, I do some water. I rinse them afterwards, but I'll sprinkle with the baking soda, and then I pour the distilled vinegar on top of it, let it come up to a fizz, and then everything floats to the top. I let it sit, and then I just rinse it with my strainer a couple of times and put it in a container. And put a paper towel down and put it in a container.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I put it in a big tub with some water, some vinegar, some baking soda. Sometimes I'll add some lemon juice into it, and then I'll just kind of let them dry, and then I'll put the paper towel down. I'm still trying to figure out raspberries, because they get soggy.
They do.
And they get real soggy. And I don't even know.
In most places,
I don't know what to do with them. Yeah, they don't. And then what I use this like fruit and vegetable like squash at Whole Foods, and you can like spray it on your fruit and stuff. I do that after the whole vinegar and stuff, and then I just wash it off with some water.
I got that. I don't be cleaning my stuff.
He be
water.
praying.
I do water. I feel like I'm learning.
Say, God, please.
You didn't get the memo. You
ain't
ain't supposed to say that.
And like honestly, I didn't know the lettuce thing was happening until like 2 days ago.
What?
You ain't really been here.
Cause I don't be on news. I do not check the news at all. Like the world could be crumbling, and I could be in my house like, okay, watching anime. Like it's not. Whatever.
Love it. Okay, so
And I be eating lettuce too.
Me too.
what about your proteins? There's a certain way you got to clean your proteins too, right? A certain way you got to clean your fish, clean your fish and your chicken
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Now, I will say a little bit about the lettuce, and I love arugula. Arugula is really good, and it's beneficial for you too. I mean, throw some arugula on top of your french fries if you want to. But what I will say is sprinkle pepper on your lettuce, your arugula, whatever your leafy vegetables is, because pepper provides a hostile environment for parasites. So if you want to, because I was at Cava today, and I ain't stopped going to,
Taco Bell?
Not Taco Bell.
The build a salad people.
No, I ain't never
They had to
been there.
close down.
Well, Tonio said that they closed.
Yeah, they had to.
Oh, that's what I heard.
But I was just, Chipotle. I still doing Chipotle. Just put some pepper on it. I'm not telling you to go out.
Just put some pepper on it. It's okay.
Pepper is on the table, not just as a condiment to make your food taste good. It's really for medicinal purposes. Pepper is a medicinal property. So, when in doubt, sprinkle some pepper on that lettuce.
You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna keep that.
That's a
in my
bar
pocket.
right there. When in doubt, pepper it out.
Sprinkle some
I
pepper.
like it. So, back to my original question. How do you properly clean your protein? Because I be seeing all types of stuff, and I don't think people be cleaning their chicken no more. Y'all think they clean the chicken no more either? Somebody said
And
no.
you need to cut the fat off of it.
Break it down for us.
Yeah, like please don't just cook your chicken like that. Please, you're gonna kill yourself.
I do the same thing. I'm right there with her.
It's like
Rinse it,
just do
cut off.
something with it.
Yeah.
Don't just cook it from the pack to the thing.
Just make sure you're not cross-contaminating too. I think
Yeah.
we forget,
Yeah.
like people talk a lot about how, it's gonna be bacteria regardless. but it is important. I like to actually soak my chicken in vinegar. It helps to start the cooking process and it tenderizes it. So where we don't want to do something because of the mechanics of it, there's still benefits to it, so.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into a little bit more of a personal expertise. So, Ms. Shey, let's talk about some juicing.
Okay.
Let's talk about the main benefits of juicing, right? Because you can eat your vegetables and your
Yeah.
fruits, but what's the difference between the nutritional breakdown of eating them versus juicing them?
Well, with juicing them, your body gets to absorb all of the nutrients quicker. So when you eat them, it has to go through the whole like energy process. Your body has to break it down. But when you drink it, it gets into your cells quicker when you juice. Of course, you want to make sure that you have organic, natural fruits and veggies. You don't want to just put anything in there because that can actually mess up your stomach. A lot of people, just blend a whole bunch of different fruits and vegetables together, not knowing how to pair them properly too, and that can also mess up, your digestion. So you also want to be able to pair them pretty good. Apples are a really good like neutralizer in your juices. So if you want to, when you start out, that's a good way to start out with majority apples in your juice with any other additions to it. But yeah.
Okay. So what are some, wait a minute, make sure I'm good here. So one of the things that I hear a lot is there's still so much sugar when you make the juices. Anyway, so what are some ways that we can avoid that glucose spike?
So depending on the day, the time of the day that you drink your juice could be that as well. What you eat your juice with as well. If you're having like this type of juice that you're having, eating it with a salad is perfect because that's not gonna give you so much sugar all at once. Yes, the natural juicing it does give you a good amount of sugar, but it's crazy to call it good sugar. But it's good sugar. It's not processed sugar. This is sugar that comes from fruits that God made that goes straight to your body, that work with your body. Because God don't make nothing that don't work for you. So basically that's the juices.
God don't make nothing that don't work for you. I like that. So let me ask you this, because I've seen people do it. Is it good to make a fruit and vegetable juice? Is that safe, or should you just stick with this is all vegetable juice, this is all fruit juice?
Well, it just depends on what it is that you want to accomplish with the juice. If you're looking to do more detoxing, I would say stick to more veggies on the veggie side. You can add a fruit maybe to make it a little bit sweeter. If you just dead inside and you like it to taste bad, then that's fine. If you just want it to taste like just green, then yeah, that's fine. But you can add a little like apple or lemon, like something to cut that taste. Yeah, lemon is really good. But if you're looking for something that's more like energy-based, antioxidants, like that's when you want to get more into like your fruits and your berries and stuff like that.
So a lot of people now are really getting into juice cleanses and juice fasts. What would you say should be the go-to juices you're going to focus on if you decide to do that? And how long is a healthy fast?
Well, the fast is, again, it just depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish. A lot of people always try to put everything in a box, but everyone is their own individual person and their makeup could be different. A fast might be good for you, but it might not be good for the next person. So, and it also depends on what you put in your juice. Beets is the best thing. If you have beets are really good for cardiovascular health, for energy, for your red blood cells. So if you're doing a fast, I would advise it to be very beet-based. Because that'll help you not pass out from just drinking juice for 20-something days.
Love it.
After 3 days, I'm cranky. I did like a 4-day juice cleanse, and the 3rd day I was like, I need a pizza.
Some Doritos.
I can't do that to my family now.
Okay, so let's talk about something that I think it's not new, but it's new in the mainstream, if you will, and that's herbs, herbal usage. I'm starting to get into it, but I'll be kind of like juicing. I don't fully know. I know it's good for me, but I don't know how to actually pair all those things together, right? So I'm gonna ask you, what would you say, or we'll start there. What would you say are the top herbs that you would use for, let's say, energy? And we'll kind of go down the list. So we'll start with energy.
Wow, energy. The best herbs to use for energy: parsley, cilantro, basil. I mean, basil's good for like if you're having a heart attack. For real though, like if you're having a cardiac event, basil is good, you know. They all kind of supplement whatever you're working on. So I add herbs to everything. I like my plate, you like with, I have my protein with my eggs and my kimchi and my sardines. I sprinkle some dill on top of that because it enhances it. So herbs are enhancers. They have medicinal properties, but you can just add them.
Sure.
You know, even in vinegar, you know what I'm saying? So, but those are good, and you find those dried at the store. So just buy them dried, and they're usually in a refrigerated area in a little container like this, and you just can add them to whatever. So your oregano, your parsley, your dill, your cilantro, your basil.
There we go.
Oregano, cilantro, parsley, dill,
Basil.
basil. Thank you.
Now I do know that oregano has, like if you're battling like mucus and stuff like that, it has some benefits there. Can you talk about that?
Draining.
So it's all about draining?
Yeah, and that's what it does. It drains you.
Got you.
Sounds oregano?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. What about digestion? Because you want to make sure your gut is good. So what are some good herbs?
Mint and parsley.
Okay.
Mint and parsley are perfect for that. And what I love about it is you can sprinkle it on anything. When I say put stuff on your French fries, do it because you're adding something to your meal that's going to benefit you. So, but mint is perfect for that. And then, you know, like I don't drink as much as I used to, but let me get a mojito. I'm gonna pull that mint out and be chewing on it. Oh, you garnish that with some parsley? I'm gonna chew on that. You know what I'm saying?
Love
it
it.
has benefits.
Love it.
Can I ask a question?
Is that ask a question?
Yeah.
No. They done held me accountable now. I gotta hold you accountable, G.
He's on the panel. He's official.
So when you go to like the seasoning aisle of the grocery store, right? Are all of that, you got so many different brands. Are all of them of the same quality? Or like, is there a label that you should look at on that? How does that work?
Well, when it comes to seasonings, I don't really buy seasonings. I buy salt. I buy pepper.
Okay.
There is some things, I do garlic powder, but I would say that it's really about the freshness. I don't really, and when I say it's really about the freshness, because if you're buying garlic powder and you're not using real garlic, then you're just buying garlic powder. I would much rather just use real garlic, which is medicinal as well. I mean, you should be eating a clove of garlic every day. It'll heal your body.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I buy pink Himalayan sea salt or kosher salt. Pink Himalayan sea salt it has all the minerals that you need in your body. So that's how you make your own electrolyte.
Yeah.
You basically take a 4th teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt or Celtic salt or Celtic salt, how people say. But in the seasoning aisle, there is some my go-tos. Like I don't know if y'all ever had potato slayer. Bomb, okay?
Yeah.
I do like McCormick's because it's a quality brand, but some things are just what we're used to seeing. You know how we call things Comet, but it ain't Comet, it's actually powder cleanser. So sometimes we just kind of default to the labels that we know. When I go in the seasoning aisle, I'm really only buying salt and pepper. There may be some things that I buy, but most of my herbs and stuff are dried, and I get those in the produce section.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gems. Let's see here. What about relaxation?
Relaxation for like a herb? I would calendula, which is spelled like calendula. It looks like a dandelion.
Okay.
But it's really good for relaxation. That's what I would say. So like, I don't go to the grocery store, so to speak, for things that I go to like a Nutrition World, or there's a place, Nature's Finest on Lee Highway and stand in Igu Gap, I think it is.
Okay.
Where you can go and get like your bulk calendula and stuff like that, or Star West Botanicals, or Mountain Valley Herbs and stuff like that. So I typically kind of outsource my stuff, not to your grocery store, because grocery store stuff is built on convenience. And that's why I was saying, as long as it's fresh, meaning the expiration. A lot of times, like even with coffee's sitting on the shelf, it's been sitting on the shelf forever. That's not the best coffee you can buy. You should really be buying whole bean coffee and grinding it. So that's what I mean with spices. You really can't trust spices at the store. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Did anybody want to chime in on any of this at all?
Nope.
No? Okay. Yep. Just say now
Chamomile is really good.
Who's it?
To sleep, chamomile.
Chamomile.
Oh yeah, for
That's all I
sure.
got. That's all I got for you.
Is it better to make a tea out of your herbs, or just eat them, cook with them? What's the best? I know some of them, like if you heat them up too much, they lose certain properties.
Absolutely. So when you're talking about like your green herbs, I like to have those dry. like to have all of my herbs dry. When you're talking about herbs, I also take into account blooms. Like hibiscus is a flower bloom, calendula is a flower bloom, chamomile is a flower bud. So when you're dealing with the florals, you do want to steep them. Now you also can steep the green stuff, but I think it would probably just be easier for you just to use it dry. Just, it's an acquired taste. If you want to do something that you want to steep, then do matcha. Matcha has everything that you need. But the green stuff, get it dry, sprinkle it on your food. The blooms you steep. And then flowers don't take that long to steep, less than 5 minutes to steep it, and then you drink it. And just like she said with the juices, it gets right into your body, All of those things are medicinal. We use a lot of things for seasoning, and we think it's supposed to enhance flavor, but it's actually to heal our bodies.
Yeah.
Okay, so this could be open to anyone. We talk about sweeteners, right? We obviously want to stay away from white sugar, processed sugar, things like that. One of my go-tos is fresh honey and agave. What would you say are the benefits of both, and which one would you prefer to use consistently?
Well, I would prefer to use like monk fruit or honey or maple. Agave is really not healthy for you. It has a lot of fructose. So when you look at honey has about 40% fructose. Maple has 30% fructose. So the healthier choice between honey and maple is going to be maple. And then I would do like a monk fruit, but I wouldn't do agave. Those are one of those things that people market as being healthy for you, but it'll raise your glucose. So she's constantly been saying like whatever you're working on. So for me, a person who has reversed their type 2 diabetes, I really couldn't do agave, but you might be able to. Your metabolism may be different. You actually work out, so it'll be fuel, like my brother was saying over here, But if you want to look at fructose, and that's what you should look at. Well, how much fructose does this particular thing have in it? And then go from it.
I have nothing to say. I agree too.
That's it. I rock with that.
Nobody got something to add?
No, I mean, that's
Oh, no, I thought y'all was saying
I'm
something.
100%
Okay,
honey.
let me see here. We're doing good on time. Okay, let's jump to hydration. So my first question is, what's the best water for us to be drinking? Because you go down,
You got
I
it.
can tell you about
break it
water.
down.
So water is a lubricator. It lubricates your joints, it moistens your brain, but it doesn't hydrate you. You need electrolytes in order to hydrate your cells. And electrolytes have minerals, essential minerals for you to live. So you need pink Himalayan sea salt. So if you want to make yourself an electrolyte drink, you get lemon, you get water, and preferably no sugar because you're defeating the purpose. So you want to do like honey or maple. And then I typically say make a picture of that. And then when you want to drink an electrolyte drink, you take a 4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt and you shake it up and pour it over ice. It's like a margarita. but it hydrates your cells because everything is about cell health in our bodies. If we really understand ourselves on a molecular level, then we would know how to take care of ourselves. But water is just a lubricator, so you're not hydrating yourself when you drink water.
And yeah, natural spring water is, if you're gonna drinking water, you're gonna drink natural spring water or alkaline water. I feel like those two are the best types of water. Yeah, they're the best types of water for you to actually feel hydrated per se.
And I'm just gonna talk about the amount of water.
Which is my next question. So,
That's good stuff. That's spot on. But when it comes to like how much water you should be drinking, the rule of thumb is about 7% of your body weight. And so if you're 100 pounds, trying to get 70 ounces of water is a good like baseline to be drinking. But then also electrolytes. Once you get over so much, like any of my clients, just to give a baseline, like I tell my clients, like for my women who typically are a little bit smaller than my men. Once you get over, say, 96 ounces of water, you really do need to be making sure that you're replenishing your electrolytes because that's when you become dehydrated. So you see people that I'm drinking all this water, I'm cramping. It was like, do you do the pink Himalayan sea salt? Like I do that every day before that's my pre-workout. That's part of my pre-workout ritual. One, because it makes me look more vascular, but also like it is good for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, so just making sure that you get enough, and then once you get so much, making sure that you are being on top of the electrolytes and making sure you're doing things like that as well.
It's essential to life.
Cool. So you talked about drinking water just for lubrication.
It makes everything function in your body, so you really need to have water for that purpose. But I think some people think, oh, I'm dehydrated.
Let me drink some water. It's just educating yourself on the difference. You know how people say H2O and H3O, So that H3O is what you really need, just to be able to make sure your body is working optimally. But water, of course, has its function to be able to make sure that our kidneys is flushing like it's supposed to. And your body systems of the body is doing what it's supposed to do. Water needs, in your joints and things of that sort. But in regards to true hydration, your cells need electrolytes. It needs vitamins and minerals and amino acids.
Yes.
What are some? What would you say are the best places to get those things? Because everything is supplemented, everything's in powder form.
Right.
So we're talking directly from the source. You talked about pink Himalayan salt. What are some other good areas to get your electrolytes, to get your minerals and stuff like magnesium and stuff like that?
Absolutely. So watermelon is really good for that. I'll let my homegirl talk about it.
Yeah, watermelons are really good for that. They're very hydrating. You can also get it from cucumbers. You can also get it from celery. Celery is actually a calorie deficit food?
Yeah,
like you take more calories to actually chomp it up than to...
Probably up.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, water. Also a good place to get your water in Chattanooga. I don't know where exactly it is, but there's a spring out there that people get their water from.
Wow.
And then there's Whole Foods. So Whole Foods, you can get the reverse osmosis. You can get the alkaline water as well. So if you have like big gallons of water, you can go in there and get your water.
Or get a Brita. We have we keep a Brita, not the pitcher, but the little dispenser.
We keep the Brita dispenser on our countertop because I don't drink cold water. Because cold water really is, it shocks your system. You really should be drinking room temperature water. Now, of course, if you run in a marathon, get you a ice cold drink. But I would just say, get you a Brita pitcher, a filter container, and just set it on your counter. And that's what I do. I don't buy bottled water anymore.
Good. Okay. So what are some signs that you can tell that, like if you look in the mirror, right? How can you tell if you're dehydrated? Because they say, I read a lot that the study says that we are all chronically dehydrated.
Yeah.
But what I found is when I really started consuming a lot more watery vegetables and fruits, that I really don't get thirsty anymore. So what are some signs that like now I'm dehydrated? Is it extremely visible or will you feel it first?
You'll feel it first. Like if you have a headache, a lot of people like to blame their headaches on other stuff. Take a little pill and then it'll go away. But it's really, you need some water. It could be wrinkles. As a woman, nobody don't want no wrinkles. It could be your hair look dull, your like the white in your eyes could look dull as well. Yeah, there's this book that I have. It's called Your Body's Many Cries for Water. If you guys want to look for it, Google, Amazon, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. The label is yellow and the book is red. Of course, call your attention. But it's a really good book. It'll basically give you a lot of the symptoms that your body is giving you that you can just fix with drinking water. And it's a lot of them, starting with your headaches.
Yes.
Okay.
Your brain doesn't have an ability to feel pain, so typically if you have a headache, it's because you need minerals, and if you drink water, it usually subside. If you ever have like a pebbly number 2, that's the sign that you're dehydrated. Or if your eyes are sunken, or your skin is pale, or even if you kind of like pressing your finger and the color doesn't return back right away, you can tell that you're dehydrated as well. But they say the moment you feel thirsty, you are already dehydrated.
Yes.
You should never get to a place where you're thirsty.
Yes. Y'all said it. I know I keep on saying that, but
Yeah, right. That's a mic drop. Okay. All right. We're gonna do 2 more questions, then we're gonna go to the audience. So, how does caffeine, alcohol, too much sodium, or not the right type of sodium, and exercise affect hydration?
Ask it one more time.
How do caffeine, which if you work out, I do this job working on it. Caffeine is a big part of my workout regimen. But how does caffeine, alcohol, sodium, and exercise affect hydration?
There's a lot of things right there, a lot of stuff. Just to attack, I would say the sodium part first. There's a lot of manipulation of sodium with what I do with like bodybuilding and things like that. And so sodium is one of those things that can get a bad rap, but your body also needs that. That's what's going to help you hold on to the lubrication of the water and things like that. So even when it comes to exercise, that's the thing you got to think about too, is as you're exercising, as you're sweating, you are losing electrolytes, you're losing sodium, so you have to make sure that you're getting enough sodium. So like, rule of thumb, most people need somewhere between like 2,500 milligrams to 3,500 milligrams. I've had recently during a bodybuilding competition, my guys eating like 4,500 to 5,000 milligrams because you're sweating so much and you have to be able to hold onto the water. You're replenishing yourself of water and things like that. So there's that. Recently, I've been reading about caffeine because I have a lot of clients that are 30, 40, 50 years old, they've been drinking coffee all their life, and I'm like, hey, I gotta chill on this coffee first thing in the morning, I drink water first. And recently I've been hearing a lot of talk about like, actually coffee doesn't dehydrate you, like when it comes to like caffeine. So still trying to figure out like what the real facts are on that, do some research on that. But caffeine in general, just the biggest thing that I can think of with caffeine is making sure that you're placing it in the right spot in your day. Like your body has a circadian rhythm, your cortisol levels matter, right? So we hear a lot about cortisol right now and the stress responses and things like that, but your cortisol levels should be at their peak when you wake up in the morning. And so if you're not, or it should be at their low when you wake up in the morning. So if you're going and they're going to release over time. So if you're getting caffeine first in the morning and you're getting this false sense of I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm alert, then you never give your cortisol levels a chance to do what they're actually supposed to do. And so when it comes to caffeine, in tandem with that, like that's a big thing there. And you said caffeine, sodium,
Alcohol.
And alcohol is the biggest,
yeah, when it comes to exercise and dehydration. So alcohol is poison, period. So just don't do it.
Yeah.
So like, I know we talked about our mojitos and stuff like that. If you do it, make sure you put the basil, all that stuff in there, right? But one thing, and I'll pass the mic, one thing that I tell my clients about alcohol is 2 things actually. One is it has its own macronutrient that you don't really think about. Alcohol does have calories like itself. It is its own macronutrient.
Yeah.
So, and secondly, your liver does recognize alcohol as poison. And so if you drink alcohol, your body has to get rid of that first. Your liver has to process that first before it can start to break down any of the other macronutrients and micronutrients that you put in your body. So I've had clients several times, we work on not drinking as much alcohol, they lose weight automatically because now your body's actually able to burn the things that it's supposed to burn outside of the alcohol. So alcohol is just not one of those things, like if you're really trying to lose weight, be healthy, things like that, alcohol is just something you shouldn't, or that should be a special occasion. That doesn't need to be like an everyday kind of thing,
Right.
you know, so.
Absolutely.
Or use low calorie alcohol.
With some juice.
What your liver does. Because
Yeah.
when you drink alcohol, your liver stops processing everything else and is focused on the alcohol. The alcohol actually also too, like if you're working on fitness and you're trying to lose weight, they say it takes about 3 days for your body to recover to get back to weight loss once you drink alcohol. Also caffeine, you gotta think about what it does in your body to receptors. It stops things from happening. So the better thing for you to do instead of caffeine is doing like cacao powder. So in the morning, if you are like a coffee purist and you like black coffee, or if you like cream, you can take cacao powder and mix it with hot water, and it actually is going to give you a smooth, clean uplift that's going to last longer than coffee or caffeine. So caffeine, when you realize what it inhibits in your body, then you will realize why it's not productive, and that's why it stops people from going to sleep. And then, so it was coffee, alcohol,
Sodium.
and sodium.
Sodium, yeah.
I don't really know how I feel about sodium. It really just by watching your consumption, because sodium, even iodized salt, is not bad for you when you really dig into it. So it's just like if you anything in excess is bad.
Yeah, and it's like with sodium, I have a client who she's like recently realizing that she has some stuff. I forget what's like oxidation. There's some stuff she's got going on that sodium has to, like, that's the one thing that she really has to pay attention to. And so I think that's like you were saying earlier about the cleanses and the juicing and things like that, like the detoxes. That is really a thing where it's like case by case basis. Like most of us in this room don't need to be pushing 5,000 milligrams of sodium, but I just have my two, 18, 19-year-old boys with a bodybuilding competition that are pushing that much, and it was helpful in that situation. So it also depends on like when you're doing it. But that's just one of the things, like you gotta look up and say, what's my plan? What are you saying? What's my goal right now? Yeah, what am I chasing right now? So,
Cool. Well, I want to make sure that the audience has enough time to get their questions in, so I'm gonna stop my questions right there. So, audience, who wants to go first? I'm gonna pass around the microphone. I got you, Tony. I got you.
Half my family is on GLP-1s. What is your take on GLP-1s with the African American community and what it helps alternatives to losing weight?
You can?
yeah. You want to go first?
Well, I'll just say
Yeah,
this.
go first.
Your body makes GLP-1s. It's a peptide. So if you're balanced, everything is about homeostasis and living life in balance. If you're eating right and you're living life in balance, your body's going to produce it. You don't need anything to tell you to stop eating. You see what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. If you're using an appetite suppressant in order for you not to eat, and it does other things and it has its place, but when you know your body already makes something, then why supplement it with something else? You see what I'm saying? So if you eat well, like we were talking about in the beginning, with making sure your plate has a healthy fat and has, fiber and all of these things, then you'll be satiated and then you don't have to keep going. But if your sugar is out of control, if your metabolic health is out of control, then you're going to need somebody to come in and supplement that with the GLP-1. But I don't really agree with it because your body makes it.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit. Because I hate them. But I have clients that are on them. And so I have to respect it, and I have to be mindful that people have their different reasons for taking their different things, right? And so GLP-1s, just like anything else, it had a reason that it started. Keto started because of epilepsy. We made it into a diet drug. GLP-1 started because of insulin resistance, and we made it into a diet drug. And so there's a reason where it's supposed to be placed in a certain spot. But like you said, if everything is on par, then you shouldn't need to add to it. I think oftentimes when we think about like drugs and things that we take, it's called a supplement because there's a baseline first. You don't get your supplemental pay before you get your income, right? So you get your income first. And so if you're doing all the right things, if you're doing all those right things well, macronutrients, sleep, steps, water,
doing all those things and taking care of that, then you don't need the supplement to help you with it. Oftentimes people don't do those things, which is why we need the GLP-1. So I try not to, I had, like I said, when we first started, I ruptured my Achilles. First time I ever felt overweight in my life, you know what I mean? Like, except for when I was in middle school and hadn't hit puberty yet. But like, it was the first time I really was like, man, like, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to put these clothes on. I just felt really insecure, and it made me realize like, oh, this is why people would jump on something like this.
Yeah.
But luckily, I had been in the best shape of my life already before, so I knew that I could achieve the goal I wanted. I think a lot of people do it because it is an easier way. I don't think it's a cop-out, but I think it's like if you don't know that you're capable of tracking and doing and obtaining that goal, then GLP-1s feels very feasible. And now it's not as taboo to talk about and say that you do it. So, thank you.
Yep, go ahead.
I have two questions. One for Darryl, and then the second for Onteaya. Darryl, I want to ask you, you can touch on enriched wheat flour in bread. And we talked about labels a little earlier, about reading labels and how important it is to not eat that. Because with every meal we're eating bread, whether it be a hamburger, a hot dog, some grilled cheese, whatever, and with what bread to choose when we're out and about. And then for you, Onteaya, you do, at home you cook a lot of things for satiation and flavor and depth of flavor and umami. I want you to give some tips to us about how you use kimchi and how you use anchovies and how you use different things that are tips you can add to your food to add better flavor and satiation when you're eating your food as well too.
That's right. Yeah, thank you, brother.
So as far as the bread part, whole grains, and so trying to stay to like, Dave's Killer Bread is a really good brand. So things like that, like whole grain bread. I know you talked about sourdough bread, things that come from the source, things that aren't enriched with all that extra stuff. I would say it's just like anything else. Like our body's meant to have to process, and so if it's getting the things that like whole grain foods, whole grain things that it can actually process and utilize for benefits for the body, that's what we want. If you have something that's enriched, or if you have something that is already processed, like a white bread, then that's when your body's not able to do the things you want to do. It burns through it quickly. You don't utilize it for the energy you're supposed to. Just a fact on like we were talking about coffee. A lot of times, I didn't realize this because I'm not a big coffee drinker, but it's the same thing with white bread. When you get a dark roast coffee, I always thought that meant that's a stronger coffee, but a light roast coffee is a stronger coffee, right? And so it's the same thing with like white bread. The light roast is actually like the weaker version. The dark bread is actually the more truly enriched flavor. So it's the opposite, but that's what you want to think about, like what has that dark look, what has that good healthy look, and so that's kind of the bread that you want to steer towards. Also, make sure that you place it in the right spot. So if you want to have the white bread, if that's your free meal of the week, or if you're about to go work out or do something like that, it's not like don't do that. It's just be mindful of where you place it and do it in moderation. And if you can handle it, do it. But like you said, it was like, or you might say like the sugars take the top off, or whatever. Somebody else said that. Like when you start eating the sugar, it's like it opens up the gate. So like if you know that's your weak point, then don't touch it, or don't keep it in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's bomb is sourdough English muffins. Have you had?
Oh yeah.
Where you get them at?
Ooh, just I get them at Publix.
Okay.
And
Say less.
Sourdough.
And I toast them on the skillet. Yeah,
Okay.
It's so delicious.
Okay. I'm jealous of you. I know you be eating
when
good,
Antonio was talking about like savory and umami, I find that digestion, so if you are eating well and you are not eating a lot of sugar, it's easy for you to choose health. It's easy for you to choose something that's going to be good for your body. We should be eating to live, not living to eat. So I like to, I understood, and I'm telling, okay, so this is a deep dive, because what happened was I had a heart attack in 2023 because I was stressed out. I was in a hospital and there was no fresh fruit. They didn't even have lemon packets. And what I learned from that season in my life with trying to eat well after a heart attack is that there was a part of my digestion that just was not triggering. Meaning that my digestive juices wasn't responding because this food was bland, and I realized the importance of feeling good about what you're eating, but also have you ever heard of flavonoids? So like what you taste and how it impacts you is important to your digestion. So long story short, like I use like Maggi. Have you ever had Maggi? You can put it on eggs, you can put it on salad, you can put it on steaks, you can put it in soup. But if you have a good flavor profile to your food, it wakens up your senses and it makes you feel good about what you're eating. So I always try to make sure that my food is umami, and umami is satiating. So it's not just saying it's good for me, but it tastes good and it's actually activating my digestion. So it's making my mouth salivate. That's a part of digestion. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that kind of answers your question. I feel like I'm a mad scientist in the kitchen because I basically deal with flavor profiles. People judge their food like they judge their people. I don't care what you are as a food. If your flavor profile is this, I'm gonna put this with this, and it might not make sense, but it should taste good. And taste good doesn't just mean salt. Taste good doesn't just mean seasoning. Taste good means what is it doing for your digestion? When you smell it, because smelling is a part of digestion. You see what I'm saying? But when things are umami and they taste good, they're more satiating. I don't know if that answers your question.
That was great. Tasting good should involve all the senses. Love that. My question is, and I'm glad we touched on fasting for various reasons. And my question is because I've been practicing morning fasting, and so when I do break my fast, I've been trying to figure out, I feel like I have a good, things to eat, but how much I eat is still a question for me. I'm obviously very hungry, but I don't want to overeat, and then I'm still trying to figure out, okay, when is my cutoff time, because I'm still hungry, and I'm up a little bit, probably about 11 o'clock. I'm working on that too. So just maybe, I guess to round out my question, when I'm breaking my fast, what is a good portion size and maybe some satiable or very filling things that I can add to the breaking of my fast that'll hold me until, I don't know, 4 o'clock, and where I'm not looking for a Starburst or getting an extra coffee, because I'm looking to stop getting an extra coffee.
Okay, so good question. When do you start your fast?
Start it?
So for instance, when do you begin? How long of a fast are you doing? Are you doing 16 days?
Maybe 11 to
at night?
I'm usually about 10:30 and then breaking fast at 12.
Okay, so first and foremost, you should stop eating at least 3 hours before you go to sleep, because if you're eating late, then your body and your brain is spending all that time digesting your food, and then you're not properly resting. So when you wake up, you may be ravenous and you may be exhausted because of all those things. So you gotta understand. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, you need to make sure that you are always breaking your fast with a healthy fat. Healthy fats are satiating, so an avocado or something of that sort. Don't be afraid of olive oil. Don't be afraid of butter. Don't be afraid of ghee. And you should listen to your body. It's not really about portion. You shouldn't be overeating. There is rules of thumbs about how much protein and stuff you should have, but as a woman, you should be having plenty of protein. If you're hungry, that's because you didn't get enough protein. I know my brother can talk more about this, but I always say I break my fast, which breakfast is not necessary. Breakfast is basically, it was just a marketing ploy for a cereal company. Breaking your fast breakfast is when you break your fast. So I typically start eating around noon, and I eat a fat, and I eat a protein. I do a lot of boiled eggs, kimchi, sardines is really good for that purpose. You don't have to do those things, but sardines have so many macronutrients and vitamins and minerals and things of that sort. Your body is depleted, that's why you're hungry. So you gotta make whole food choices. And then I'll let him, because I know you got something. You got something?
Oh, well, yeah, me, myself, I like to fast as well. I'll basically stop eating by 9. And then I won't eat again until the next day, 10, 11-ish. And it's not because I do it on purpose. It's more of by the time I get up and everybody gets out the door, work, life, I find a second around 10, 11. And the best way for me to break that, and I've noticed that. So I've noticed that that's how my lifestyle is going. I'm basically eating to fit it. I'm not trying to eat to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm trying to eat to fit my lifestyle and what type of energy am I giving out during my days. So the days that I have training, I'll start eating around 11, and I'll have boiled eggs, orange juice. I'll do a bunch of fruits. I love fruits. I will always do fruits. Fruits will be a part of my eating for the rest of my life. I don't like cooked vegetables. I like raw vegetables. That's the best way for me to get my vegetables. But the best way for you to break that is, like she said, like healthy fats, like avocado. I like to break it with watermelon sometimes, because watermelon is like, it's not such a shock to your system so early in the morning. Like, you're hydrated, your body still gets that motion of eating, so you get full and it'll hold you for a while. Then by the time it's supposedly lunchtime, then I'll have something a little bit heavier. Now my body is ready to have something heavier to eat.
Yeah, so everything they said is perfect. I don't fast, and I eat 7 times a day, so I don't have time to fast. But,
That sounds like heaven.
but legitimately, for 7 different meals.
Right.
But I do think it's good. I think fasting is solid, and I think I've always heard, like, from the fasting, like a 16-8 is like one of the best ways. Like 16 hours is like optimal when it comes to 8 hours of eating, 16 hours of fasting.
Yeah.
Right. So if you cut off your food at 6 a.m., you would eat again to what? Would it be 12?
Yeah.
The next day. Or
I usually do it. I usually
10?
sleep my fast. Like,
Yeah.
I do it so I can sleep my fast.
most of your fat. Yeah. So
Because if I'm
so like
awake,
if you go to bed at 11, cutting off food at 8, and then not eating again the next day until like around 12. Would be like kind of ideal. But then when it comes to portion sizes, I would think one thing you got to think about is, again, what is your goal? And if your goal is to maintain, if your goal is to lose weight, if it's to cut, if it's to fuel for performance, whatever, just knowing, okay, well, if I only have this many hours to fast, how do I get all my food in a way that is optimal, right? And so, there was at one point, there was a myth that your body can only digest 50 grams of protein a day, which is not true, or out like in a city, which is not true. You can eat up to 100 grams of protein, and you'll probably, if you're used to digesting it, you can. So it depends on what your body's used to. So I would say, figure out how many calories or whatever you're trying to get in throughout the day, and then divide it up evenly, and start your first meal with some good suggestions like that, like the watermelon, the eggs, the healthy fats, and stuff like that. But ideally, make sure that you have enough time to get your protein in, no matter what. So if you have to, you're relatively small, strong but mighty, petite, right? But so I'm saying you're probably gonna need like around 100 grams of protein or so. So how do I get 33 grams of protein if I'm only eating 3 meals a day? Like, how do I get it in each sitting? So that's how I look at it, and then also have the healthy fats and things like that, right? So.
Any other questions? Right here. Right behind you.
What are some of y'all staple like go-to meals, just in general?
I got some buildings.
My family is Cuban. I'm Cuban, so a lot of our staple meals are very plantains, the rice and beans, the garbanzos. Like it's all very like filling type of food, and it's all like natural. Everything comes from a plant or an animal. It sounds so bad, but it's all natural, and that's kind of how you want to like build your plate or build like your nutritional like lifestyle. You want to make sure that everything that you intake is natural. It's not, I like to call processed food like human-made food. Yeah. Food that humans made. Mm-hmm. The food that's not processed is food that God made.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have a go-to, I would say, overall. I mean, in this season of my life, I'm just doing sardines and kimchi and eggs. And the reason why I say that is because I eat a balanced lifestyle. I eat what I want to eat. So like, I was out to dinner with a friend and I had a ribeye, a sweet potato, and a Caesar salad. So I usually just build my plate accordingly no matter where I am. I just don't break the glass and eat whatever I want to eat. Yeah. But I do, you know what I'm saying? I am eating what I'm eating now because I'm working on building muscle, and so that's why. So it depends, like it's kind of like we've all been saying, it depends on what you're working on. And so I eat to live, and I eat for what I'm working on. And so my meals right now is boring. I mean, sardines, eggs, that's it.
And I like, just to add to that, I like to, how do you put it, be food bougie. Like you kind of have to be very intentional. Like, look, I deserve the best type of food to go into my body, so that's the only thing that's going into my body.
That's right.
And that's how you have to look at food. People quick to buy the designer and all that foolishness there, but when it comes to food, it's like we try to cut corners, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, I eat the same thing every day.
Oh my God. Way to kill that. I'm boring. Yeah.
But I do that shit in a minute. For breakfast, it's the staples. Like I'm doing cream of rice or some kind of like starch or carb like that. Eggs, sausage, sweet potatoes, something like that. Then I'll probably eat like 7 times a day. So I'm not gonna go through all meals, but one of my favorite is like steak. Sweet potatoes, like I'll make like sweet potatoes with drizzle some honey over top of avocado. I do a little bowl that's like ground beef or ground turkey with rice and black beans. Maybe add avocado to that if I want a little more fat too. So that's bomb. And of course I do the broccoli, rice, and chicken. Every other body food, so that's easy to get my macros in. But yeah, man, doing that, and then always like just we haven't really said much. You said about sardines and anchovies, but make sure y'all getting y'all's fish, your omega-3s and things like that, right? So getting the salmon in, getting the another good one would be like tilapia or cod for whitefish if you don't like stuff that's as fishy. But salmons are really, really good. Halibut can be good, things like that. Just make sure you eat your fish in omega-3s, things like that. Yeah.
Got a question back here?
Yes. So my question is in regards to athletes, specifically teenage athletes. There's a lot of different supplements out there, from pre-workouts, post-workouts, creatine. What's the optimal age to start those, if any? And which ones on the market would you recommend, especially for a teenage athlete?
Yeah, I get this question a lot. I just got this question last week from one of my clients' moms. I really just tell them, of course, focus on nutrition first, but creatine is perfectly fine. Your body makes creatine, and so it's just supporting muscle growth. So for an athlete, usually a smaller athlete, they can do like 5 milligrams a day to do creatine. Protein powders are fine. You just want to stay with like more pure stuff. But protein powders are fine, especially with somebody like they are moving so much, they may not be able to get all those meals and drugs and get the optimal amount of food and nutrition skill. But creatine, protein powder, always take some kind of multivitamin, and then I tell them make sure you get optimal sleep, some kind of magnesium at night would be really good. And magnesium glycinate is specifically for sleep. So, but yeah, they don't need to be taking too much. I mean, creatine itself is going to be a good one, for just supporting muscle. But the biggest thing, like with athletes, is eating enough. A lot of them don't eat enough. Like I have a kid, they should be getting close to like 3,500 to 4,000 calories for my fellas. And the girls probably still pushing 2,500 to 3,000 calories because they're growing so much. And sleep is optimal too. 9 to 12 hours of sleep a night is big. So, yeah.
I agree. I second that.
All right, we got about time for 1, maybe 2 more. Over here? All right, y'all gonna make me move. Get my steps in. Yes, sir.
Speaking to the mic, sorry. What are the best foods to lower EFGR, kidney functions, and lower creatinine levels, high creatinine levels?
Scientific though.
Yeah.
That might be one of my favorite.
What did he say?
Is this for you? Okay, do you have insulin resistance?
What do you say? EFGR?
Okay, so it's like basically diabetes, but it's really okay, so do you have a continuous glucose monitor?
No.
Okay, so I would suggest that you get one. A good one to get if you can't get a prescription is to get a Lingo. And the reason why I say that is because when you control your glucose, you'll help all of those things out.
Oh, wow.
I wear one. I don't have it on now because I give my arm a break. Lingo, L-I-N-G-O. I'll give you my cards. I actually have them for sale. But it's important because it'll tell you how your glucose is being impacted. Mostly, that's a metabolic issue. And the reason that's why I'm saying get you a continuous glucose monitor. And we can chat a little bit. I know we only have a couple, but we can chat a little bit afterwards. I'm gonna tell you, if you are pre-diabetic, if you get your diabetes in control, your glucose in control, you will heal that.
And I got a CPAP.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Metabolic health is important, and that's my specialty.
Thank you.
That's good.
Way to go.
That's all.
All right, we got time for just one more question. Does anybody got a question?
I didn't know that you had to.
You live with her. You can ask her.
Darn it, I forgot.
He has that effect. He did the same thing to me.
I take a great deal of man-made medicines for a cardiovascular health issue. I am often told by trainers to fast. Not okay with my medicines. At least I need to take them 12 hours apart. Right, so there's something I can do in between, but at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. I need to take these medicines and I need to eat something. I don't want just watermelon. What would you recommend that I can take with these medicines and still be somewhat doing what they're asking me to do?
Get you a Greek yogurt and some chia seed, drizzle it with honey. And that will be, that'll help you.
Yeah, and that won't interfere.
Especially since it won't interfere, because if you're trying to fast and you gotta take your medication, you gotta put something on your stomach, those are all medicinal, especially chia seeds, and it helps with cardiovascular health. It helps with your cholesterol because it's gonna bind and it's gonna just go out of your body. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you my card as well because I'm an expert on it, okay? I don't take any meds.
Sure.
So I had a heart attack in November of 2023. And I started working on my body. I've been hacking my body since then, but I don't take any medicine for my heart. I heal my body naturally, and I'm under physician's care. So we can talk. I'll give you my card.
I could recommend beets, like juice with beets, like that'll help with your cardiovascular health. But I don't know how that would do with your medication. So I don't know if that'll interfere with your medication. Also, is there a reason why you want to fast? Or is that just because your trainers tell you to fast?
Great question. Not a desire of mine at all.
Then don't do it. Yeah. You don't need to fast. You look good.
I don't fast.
That's very kind of you. They are saying in order to lose, as a piece of losing weight.
Okay, that would help your heart probably.
That's not necessary.
No, I don't think it's necessary, especially for you. For your case, you have these medications that you need to be taking. Like, I don't think fasting is the best answer for you to lose weight. You can do it in other ways. I can't tell you which other, just moving your body, but I can't tell you which other ways yet because I don't know how severe your condition is. So I can't just tell you to go do a whole bunch and go out there and run a marathon. Like, I'm not gonna tell you to go do that. But being able to like get your nutrition down pat to be able to lose that weight that you want will be your first step. I don't think fasting is the key to you losing weight. I really think it could be hindering you because if your body is like starving, it'll hold on to it. So like what you need to do really is just to feed your body the right way. Right. And that's really it. But yeah, I don't think you need to fast. You look good, girl.
Yeah, I mean, like, and she said the word earlier, homeostasis. So it's like creating that balance, right? So this is for everybody, not just to single you out, but I think a lot of times we get caught up in like, this is the way, right? So whoever your trainer is, that's not to bash on them or whatever, but just to say like, that might be the best way. They know how to do it, and it does prove to work. And so it's not that it doesn't work, but it may not work for you. So the biggest thing is figure out where homeostasis is first, right? Get your body balanced and in a good space in that way before you begin to try to lose weight. Because I think oftentimes we get that backwards, that we try to lose weight before we're in homeostasis. And so what I mean by that also is making sure that you are in a maintenance of calories. And so figure out like track first and make sure that you're getting enough of the macronutrients and micronutrients to support your health condition, your fitness level, and your daily activity. And then once you have that all mapped out, then it's like, okay, now how do we approach this this losing weight, right? So, or not even necessarily losing weight, losing fat, building muscle, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's not ever, that should never be anybody's goal. The scale of the number doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, so we gotta make sure we're looking at the right things.
Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all for y'all's questions. Everyone give our panelists a round of applause. Here's my question to y'all. Did y'all get value out of this? Y'all did? Okay, perfect. That was the goal. So, my homework for y'all is to take this information and spread it to your individual communities, right? To your friends, to your families. We're going to be doing these types of conversations again, but in the meantime, if you just leave it in this room, it didn't do any justice, right? So some people have to see it. So by leading by example, you taking this information and you actually implementing it into your lifestyle. Well, what you eating? We eating fried chicken. Why you eating that over there? Now the conversation can start, right? Don't just snatch the butterfly out the air, create an environment so it'll come to you. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah, I like it.